just kidding. Mic check? There's a mic. Oh, there's a mic. Game face.
That's your game face.
I mean, it depends on what game. Monopoly? Yes. Trouble? No.
Okay. Hi everybody, you are watching Paint Dry with Palmetto Paint. I'm JD, the director and co-founder of Palmetto Paint, and this is the web series where I sit down with a Bay County local and learn more about what they do. Since this is our last episode of the year, I am sitting down with a extra special guest today.
Extra special.
My co-founder, Alex, has joined us today. So, for those of you who don't know what Palmetto Paint is, we are a nonprofit that hosts paint classes and fundraisers that benefit other local nonprofits, so that we see all that money go right back into the community. We volunteer our time and everything, and this little web series is just another way to kind of share what we do and share what they do. But since it's the last one of the year, we are going to be making a bunch of announcements. And then after announcements, we're going to be answering some questions that people sent in, and then some questions that I came up with for us to answer.
All right, so our first announcement is we had a 5-year plan of donating $10,000 back into the local community. And as of our last fundraiser, we have hit that. And we hit it in 4 years and 2 months, going through the hurricane and a pandemic and not having a space.
We are no longer doing travel classes.
Nope.
At all. Period.
Done.
I sat down and counted just because I was curious. A normal class takes anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, and that includes time we spend promoting it, time we spend making the painting, setup, cleanup, time spent teaching the class, time spent communicating with whatever nonprofit we're working with. And when we do travel classes, it can be double that. We did one travel class that it was like a 13-hour day?
Yes.
Yeah. So now that we have a space and we've got a good schedule going, we're not going to be doing any more travel classes. All of our classes will be here at my space downtown. So we are really excited about that because traveling gets really exhausting really quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work. And we're just past that point.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, we were in almost 30 different venues, and Sweat Shak, Wild Root, Lucky's.
R.I.P.
Yeah, really.
FSU. Dillard's.
Yeah.
Hotel lobbies.
Yeah. And while we appreciate all of those people
absolutely.
And letting us do that, it added a lot of time to something that's already volunteer, and we don't have to do that anymore, so we won't be.
And I'm stronger than JD, so I have to do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So.
You can deadlift more than I can by a lot.
I can deadlift you.
Okay. And then, what else? Nonprofit. So, if you don't know already.
Oh, you skipped that one?
I did.
I made the marks so that you follow the script that you're forcing me to follow.
I was trying to go with the natural flow of the conversation.
Well, I'm not good at that. It's like people don't talk to me.
So, we are officially a nonprofit. We have our first board meeting in January, just to double check our bylaws and all that stuff. So yeah, we are in our bylaws. It says that we work with Bay County nonprofits, charities. So Bay County is going to be our focus. Local organizations, like always, are going to get preference for event dates. We're going to keep that the same. We're going to start having partner nonprofits. So what that means is we're going to try to schedule it so that every other month we are doing a class with a nonprofit we've already done a class with. We've already been talking to NAMI about doing another fundraiser for them. Lavished Ministries, we usually end up doing 1 or 2 a year with them. So our partner nonprofits, they are going to get preference every other month for a date. Hopefully we'll be able to keep that every other month schedule going. I don't really think that it'll be a problem, but hopefully we don't have another pandemic keep us from doing classes for 6 months again. So yeah, that's one thing that's kind of changing.
So on the months that we're not doing our partnering nonprofits, if you guys know anyone that hosts a local nonprofit or a nonprofit that you support that you think would benefit from this, just let us know. Reach out to us. We have a list, I think, of like 4 or 5 next year that we want to trial. We want to get in touch with and raise money for them.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just always looking for new people to help and new ways to, give back to Bay County.
Yeah. We're changing the schedule up a little bit. We're talking about maybe integrating some more advanced classes, so classes that are maybe a little bit longer or that happen, we'll start a painting one night and not with the anticipation of finishing it, or expectation rather, not with the expectation of finishing it, and we'll kind of leave them here. We'll come back and work on them another week. For people who maybe want to do a more advanced class, we're also looking at trying to work out definitely one fundraiser a month, but also a open studio every other month, because that's been going really well. And there's only so many days in a year, and we only have so many days open, and we can't hit every painting that everybody wants to do.
We still, if you want to do a private class, that is also something that we still are willing to offer. You just have to let us know.
Yeah.
Because we can still do a private class if, we've done team building activities with different businesses, and we've done birthday parties and, holiday parties, whatever, really whatever reason.
We just really need to know
In
at
advance.
least a month in advance, which we know is hard for some people, but...
And we try to accommodate as much
Right.
as possible, guys, but
But our focus is fundraising, so nonprofits and fundraisers always get the preference dates.
yes.
Palmetto Paint is self-sufficient now. We're making enough money doing private classes and open studio days and stuff like that to rent our space. So we definitely want to keep that going.
JD cries less now.
What?
You cry less now?
I stress out less now.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, because we're not having to pay for it anymore. So the last announcement is our quality of life classes. We are partnering with Panama City Quality of Life Department. They asked if I would teach a teen class once a month. It's going to be on a Tuesday, the last Tuesday of every month, at least from January through June. We may extend it past that if there's a lot of participation, but it'll be completely free. Your teen can come in and you can come with them. Totally free. We're just going to do a quick painting. It's only going to be an hour, hour and a half. That's not going to be at my space. That's going to be over at Oakland Terrace Clubhouse. But Facebook's going to be the best place to get dates and stuff for that. We're still working out how we're going to handle signups and stuff. But yeah, that's completely free once a month. We don't offer kids and teen classes here. One, because we don't always have the best turnout for them, which is understandable. Kids get sick, parents get sick, all that stuff.
Or you're sick of your kids.
Yes, and we don't like it when people just drop their kids off and leave.
Which has happened.
And while we do have the studio space at my space, it is a shared space during the workday. So kids are messy, and it already takes us a little bit to clean everything up and leave it as we found it. But yeah, so we don't really do teens and kids classes that often here, but we'll be doing them with Quality of Life Department. So that's coming up.
I don't know. I just don't know if I'd want to be a blue narwhal. I feel like that's just, like, everyone just expects it. So, Q&A. Alex, that's me.
Uh-huh.
Where did the name come from? I can't do this. This is why JD is the face of our business. And before we dive into this, I was given a script because he doesn't trust me.
I don't want Facebook to remove our videos.
Why is it gotta be my fault? You just assume I'm gonna say something. I was so mad at you. I said the first F word. And we're back. I can't stop. Do you regret having me on your show yet?
No.
We'll get there. We got a lot
Not
more.
yet.
Okay. All right. So where did the name come from? Palmetto Paint PC.
The name actually came after I had designed the logo. So I was looking at palm tree ideas, and I'm from South Carolina, and I saw the South Carolina flag, and I was like, the top part of that would look really cool if I did it like brush strokes. And then the tree trunk is just a paintbrush, and so that's where Palmetto came from, was South Carolina's Palmetto State.
And I'm from Connecticut, and we don't have palm trees.
Yeah, but we have them in Florida. So I wanted something that would be both in South Carolina and Florida, because when we started this, that's where the PC part comes from, is for Panama City, because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep living here or if I was going to be moving back to South Carolina at the time. So my plan was for Alex to do the PC part, and I would do the South Carolina part.
I like how that's your plan.
That was my plan.
That was your plan. I wasn't involved in that plan.
That was the plan in my head, which I don't always share.
I have a feeling there's a lot of stuff in your head that you don't share with me.
There is, yeah. But
Just get thrown into the wolves.
that's kind of what was in the back of my head. So that's where the name comes from.
You were going to start a whole business, and you were going to leave me here with it?
If you wanted to keep doing it, I wasn't going to force you.
We didn't even ask.
I think we had a conversation about it, because I was considering moving back to South Carolina at that point. We had a conversation about it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, no, I'm in Panama City for life now. So that's where the name came from. The name for the web series came from, watching paint dry is usually pretty boring. But in our paint classes, when people are between steps waiting on the paint to dry, or they're blow drying, or we're just taking a break, that's when everybody talks and has conversations, because sometimes it gets so quiet when people are focused on their painting that you can hear a pin drop.
And I don't do well in those situations.
Yeah. But I figured watching paint dry is when people in our classes get to have a conversation, so I just thought that it would kind of work for the name of the web series, and I just kind of like how it sounds, so that's where the names come from. But yeah, so Palmetto Paint comes from the logo, and watching paint dry comes from our classes. All right, question number 2. Alex.
Yes.
Why did we start Palmetto Paint?
I started going to the Bay County Veterans Center, and we wanted to start art therapy classes, and obviously we would need to fund that somehow, and they were also trying to raise money for guitar therapy. They had someone who was willing to teach it, but they needed guitars. So JD and I decided to pull together everything we had, easels, canvases, buying the cheapest stuff we could possibly find, and a friend of JD's let us use a building at FSU to raise money. Mm-hmm. And we painted a haunted house, and we had a lot of fun, and we had a group of friends help us. We kind of had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah, we had a couple of friends. One of them had done a painting fundraiser just on his own time. He worked at Baymed. Mm-hmm. And so we did that with him and
another artist friend.
Yeah. And I don't know if they want their names in a video or not, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Friend 1 and friend 2. And we raised enough money for them to do guitar therapy, and we raised enough so that we could start buying supplies for the art therapy. I was teaching it there once, twice a month for many years, and it actually got to the point where we were able to buy all the supplies for there to keep there, because for the first 6 to 8 months we were actually bringing everything that was from Palmetto Paint to them, and that became a lot, moving that every Friday. So that's why we started. We had such a good time, and we really enjoyed giving back, and veterans organizations have a very, they're very near and dear to my heart. So we just said, well, this was easy, let's do it again.
To date was our biggest class.
Yes.
With 52 people, I think.
Yes,
51.
That was big. It was in a hotel.
Yeah. People were out
room.
in the lobby. We were in the conference room, but people were like out in the lobby because we had so many people.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that we were like, we could probably make this our hobby. And here we are 4 years later.
And here we are. So are we a 501c3?
No, we
Question
are not.
mark?
So we are actually going to talk about that at our first board meeting, whether or not we are interested in doing all the paperwork to be a 501c3. It really just, more than anything, it complicates the taxes. And we don't ask for donations. That's the biggest.
That's the separation between a nonprofit and
that's
a 501c3.
it's the biggest benefit to being a 501 is that we can ask for donations. Like if one month we don't want to do a class, we could solicit donations. So yeah, we are not currently, and we might not ever be. We're going to talk about that at our first board meeting. So no, we are not currently a 501c3. We are just a nonprofit incorporated entity. And really we only did that because we wanted to officially be a nonprofit. We'd already been operating for one for
a long time.
about 3 years.
Yeah.
So yeah. So no, not currently a 501c3, just a nonprofit. But we might be soon, we might not be. Just kind of depends on what we want to do for the future. Alex. What is your favorite story from Palmetto Paint PC? And you cannot use any names of regulars or customers.
My favorite story? I don't know. I've had just so many. Just from going to all the different venues and meeting all the people, and honestly, half of my favorite memories are just setting up places with you and having cart races with grocery carts full of canvases and easels. What about you?
I don't know. My favorite, I love MySpace. I love it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I loved Lucky's though, because we had some of our regulars come to Lucky's, but we almost had somebody new every single time, which was fun. Just because Lucky's also advertised and put up signs about our classes and stuff.
Really enjoyed Wild Root because we couldn't hold a lot of people there just because it is a small coffee shop, but it gave us the opportunity to just do different things, different techniques. We would get different size canvases. A lot of our regulars would come, ones that would want to challenge themselves and try something different.
Yeah.
And it was always just a great time.
And that's something I do want to bring back next year, doing more, oval canvases or classes that are completely stencil based, and then you just kind of fill in the blanks and you can really play around with the stencils. Because Wild Root was kind of our experimenting classes.
Yeah.
Seeing what we liked, what we didn't like, what would work for classes, what wouldn't.
And our regulars knew that, and that you guys would come and put up with us, and
yeah.
It was always just such a good time. I really enjoy hanging out with Eric.
Yeah. Eric's fantastic.
Eric is fantastic.
Unofficial sponsor of Palmetto Paint PC, Wild Root.
Yeah. What is your favorite part of PPPC? I don't like saying that.
Please don't say that. I'm going to request that you start over.
Request denied. Answer the question. I'm just kidding. So what's your favorite part of Palmetto Paint?
My favorite part of Palmetto Paint is teaching. I really enjoy teaching. I will say I enjoy it more as a hobby than I did as a career. I also, I don't know, I like seeing people come in, especially people who have come to several of our classes. I like it. I like seeing them get better and realize that they're getting better. I love it when people come in and they're like, I can't do this. And we make it easier than I guess they thought it would be.
And my response is, I can't either.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I enjoy the teaching, and I enjoy seeing people learn how to paint. Because it's really not as hard as you might think it is.
And to us, we used to say this a lot in the beginning. Don't expect to leave here and be a professional artist.
Yeah.
We like to base our classes around simple techniques, basic techniques, and then just making it as easy as possible so you can leave with something that you like and you would be willing to show people. JD and I have been teaching we're not even just teaching, we've been painting. How long have you been painting?
I really started painting in college, so 2015.
Yeah, I started painting with my grandmother when I was a little girl.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously I've gone in and out of it, but, you know, it takes a lot of time and patience. And I mean, I'm far from perfect.
What is your favorite part of Palmetto Paint?
My favorite part is the people, just all the people that we meet. And
we've met a lot of really cool people.
We've met so many people.
A bunch that I would really like to have on for episodes next year.
And not even just our customers, just, you know, places that have opened, you know, their businesses to us, and, you know, people that have recommended other people, and just people that have walked by. You know, JD and I know how to paint. We can paint wherever we want, but it's the people that we meet along the way, and just learning about so much of the nonprofits in the area. You don't realize how many there are, and then after the pandemic, you don't realize how much they need, really.
Yeah, hurricane and pandemic did
a doozy.
A lot of damage to our local nonprofits, and some saw an increase in donations, but a lot of them that we've talked to saw a decrease.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially after the pandemic, just because, I mean, life got
hard.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, take the teaching aspect out of it. Even if I wasn't teaching classes anymore, even if somebody else was teaching them, being able to work with as many nonprofits as we have and as many as we plan on working with has been fantastic. And
it's nice to be able to offer a way to help.
Yeah.
You know, I can't tell you how many times, you know, people have said, well, what can I do to help? You know, how can we give back? How can we do this? Well, come paint, spend 2 hours, you know, you leave with something, and then you donated. You know, that's just...
Yeah, because every fundraiser you come to, that's $30 that goes
to someone else,
straight to an organization in Bay County. How did you start painting?
Like in real life?
Yeah.
Or like Palmetto Paint?
No, like how'd you start?
I guess it's both real life.
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually started painting when I was a little girl. My grandmother, she painted. I mean, she did everything. She painted, she did broken glass murals, she did sculpture, she did everything. And we used to just sit in her basement and we'd paint. And the first time I realized that I had any sort of talent with it, I don't even know, I was pretty young, and I entered I painted a lighthouse on a seashell, and I came in first place.
Oh, cool.
And that's why
I don't think I knew that.
It's hanging in my house.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
It's pretty small. It's a seashell.
Yeah.
But that's where I started, and that's why I actually really enjoy painting lighthouses, because that's kind of where I got my start, was painting a lighthouse on a seashell when I was like 10 years old. Yeah. And then I went to art schools. I went to an actual art high school, and I, you know, kept painting and everything like that. So, what about you?
I did not start painting until college. I mean, I had painted a little bit, but not really anything. But my freshman year of college, I took studio art as an elective, and I got to paint and sculpt a lot, which I really enjoyed. I've been drawing for a long time. I used to take a notebook to church and sit and draw the whole service, because
you should be paying attention to Jesus.
We were in church every Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. Anytime the doors were open for anything extra, we were there. And so that's really when I started drawing. But yeah, I did not start painting until then. And yeah, after I got out of that class in studio art, I kind of played around with painting a little bit after that. I had some stuff in shows in college and just random places around town. Moved back here, painted a little bit more, got a job teaching paint classes, and then That is where we met. I've just been kind of painting ever since. Now I do it almost every day, if not every day, in one form or another.
Yeah, we both have art studios in our house. So when we're not here, I mean, most of you guys that know us, you know, JD does a lot of woodworking and stuff like that. and I do a lot of, I sew, I make shirts, you know, so we both in our free time do art, make something in one way or another.
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite thing to paint?
My favorite thing to paint is probably skateboards. I entered the Relief Skate Shop deck show over at the Center for the Arts. First year I entered it, I got second place. Second year, I helped to judge it. But yeah, I really like doing skateboards. I'm working on a series of them right now. And probably most of next year, the only commissions that I'll be doing will be skateboards. That's kind of my plan right now. I'm also a big nerd, so I like painting characters from games and movies and stuff. So I usually blend the two together. Not usually, but a lot of the time. What is your favorite thing to paint?
I really like painting door hangers, wood cutouts, those kinds of things that I can hang around the house. But I would say I really enjoy black and white paintings.
Okay.
I think whenever I do anything commission, or I do anything at home, or anything that I want to do, it's usually a black and white painting. Sometimes I'll throw in like one pop of color, but it's challenging, it's different. Working with just black and white is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
But, you know, other than painting, you know, I spend a lot of my time, you know, designing shirts and stuff like that. So,
who is your favorite artist?
Bob Ross.
Cheater.
How? Okay. He was a master sergeant in the Air Force. His birthday is October 29th, 1942. I grew up watching him.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite artist?
I do love Bob Ross. I actually kind of learned how to paint watching Bob Ross. I kind of figured out how to use his oil painting style in acrylics. Just the simple, very textured looks to his paintings.
Oh, that's my question.
It says your name beside it.
We're at the bottom of the list, guys. I forgot what the rules were. What are more nonprofits that people should know about?
We work with a good many nonprofits right now. I mean, Lavished. I love Lavished. Humble House is great.
Yeah.
There's plenty I really wish people would know about, but right now, if there's one that I thought kind of needs a little bit of promotion, I'd have to go with NAMI.
Especially with our current,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
society.
NAMI does. Their goal is to destigmatize the conversation around mental health. They do that through education, classes, support groups. They do it through research. And they're the largest grassroots organization in the United States. And we have a branch.
Right here.
Yeah, right here in Bay County. They're actually right up the street from us. And we, as Palmetto Paint, we're going to be working with them more in the future. I'm personally going to be working with them a little bit more in the future. So, as of right now, I would say I think people need to learn a little bit more about NAMI. What's your nonprofit people should know more about?
Yeah, so I would say, you know, it's not a nonprofit per se, but the Bay County Veterans Center, they are just so near and dear to my heart. So the Bay County Veterans Center is almost like NAMI. They are mental health counselors for veterans, and they're counselors, and all of them are veterans themselves. Someone that I know from there, she actually, she loves our paint classes. She comes all the time. But Bay County Veterans Center, they help out, you know, veterans with PTSD, TBI, anxiety, depression, and you know, not many people know about it. Not many people know that resource is out there for veterans. It's completely separate of the VA. None of it goes in their records because veterans are always worried that, you know, something's going to be misconstrued the wrong way or something's going to be taken away from them. And September and Brian and Diane and all of them, they're just an incredible team. So they're my favorite. What's your favorite thing about your co-founder?
Oh, my favorite thing about my co-founder. I love that our painting and teaching style is not even remotely similar.
You guys will see that in a second when we show you what we're painting.
We can teach each other's paintings. We usually do it, we'll do it differently than each other.
Absolutely.
And we can teach each other's paintings, but the paintings that we come up with are always very different. The way that we teach a class is very different. I am more, I guess, is free-spirited the right word? I'm more customize it however you want to customize it. I will help you do that one-on-one if I need to, but like at a certain point in the class, I always leave like 20 minutes, 15 minutes for people to just do whatever, and I walk around and help them. Whereas Alex is more like very, very military in the it's step by step. She's got it down to like she knows exactly how many minutes this step's going to be, exactly how minutes the next step's going to be.
I really am good at that.
You are, yeah. So yeah, I like that we teach and paint very differently. What is your favorite thing about your co-founder?
So when I paint, I am very structured. But when it comes to running a business, I am not.
Nope.
So one of my favorite things about you is you keep me in check. It's really funny because I've been told a lot of the times I'm the silent partner because JD is just better at running a business, talking to people, being professional. We know that we can always count on each other to, keep it going when the other person needs to take a step back.
Right. So this one's not on the list.
Oh, you're making up questions now?
But
Okay.
What is something that you hope to see Palmetto Paint do or accomplish in the next year?
One thing that I really want to do in the next year is probably definitely start doing some more advanced classes, just because we've had so many people with us from the beginning, and that they've come so far just from what they've done in here, that I would love to see them expand their knowledge. And not only that, I would love to start doing more of those unique classes like we used to do at Wild Root. I would love to bring those back.
I agree.
All right, what would you like to see?
In the next year, I would really like to work with 4 or 5 new nonprofits.
Absolutely.
I love all the nonprofits that we work with. I definitely love the idea of having partner nonprofits that are kind of always on our calendar, like, every couple months. But I would also like to get a few new nonprofits on our calendar. There's a lot of nonprofits around town. She looks a little down.
Is it because she's blue? Hey JD, What kind of doctor is Dr. Pepper?
What kind of doctor?
A physiologist.
I was a physician.
I like physiologists more. So just to show how different people we are, show them what you painted.
Are you ready to show them? Are you done?
I'm done. Okay. I can't keep doing. Okay, so obviously we're painting, and you'd think Palmetto Paint, we would paint something that has to do with Palmetto Paint. So JD painted.
I painted our logo with every canvas counts, and just kind of painterly way. Your turn.
I painted Noodles the narwhal.
I love it.
He has a mustache, and he'll be next to Nellie the narwhal.
Her favorite Christmas decoration.
My favorite Christmas decoration.
Oh, love it.
And we're done.
Yeah, that's it for us for 2021. Thank you guys for watching. You can find out more about us on Palmetto Paint PC on Facebook. You can also find our Weebly site. You just put in Weebly /Palmetto Paint PC. Super easy to sign up for classes and stuff there. On Instagram, all of our stuff is under the hashtag #EveryCanvasCounts. And I think that's it.
Yep.
We don't have anything coming up at the moment. We don't plan until second week of January or so.
Yeah.
So we probably won't have anything until late January, early February. But yeah, we're looking forward to New Year, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.